Come and install a wireless rain sensor with me. In this case, it's an Irritrol wireless rain sensor. The reason why we're replacing it is because I think the customer had his roof cleaned and the original sensor is nowhere to be found. Trust me, I looked everywhere for it. It's going to end up getting installed right there for a very specific reason. Rule number one, if you look up and there are trees, that's a problem. Right in this spot, right here, no trees. We're good right there. We're going to install the sensor there. Before we do that, I also want to take a look at how the sensor was installed previous to my visit. The person who installed it chose to use the common port down here instead of the sensor common port up here. Now, the rain sensor will interrupt the watering this way. However, the controller will not detect that the rain sensor is active because the controller, the logic inside of it, is monitoring these three terminals. You have two sensor terminals and a common terminal. It needs to be connected to those in order for Hydrawise to know that the sensor is wet. Step one is going to be removing the old sensor out of the controller. Actually, let me back up. Step one is turning the power off to the controller before we remove the sensor. And then we remove the sensor. And then we'll install the new sensor, which will be another RS1000. And then we'll install the actual, or this is the receiver. The sensor will get installed up there. We're up here mounting the sensor. We have a couple of options for that. We can use the wing nut that comes with it to mount it to a gutter, but as you can see, there is no gutter here. Or we can screw it right to the fascia board, which is right here. So that's what we've done. We've utilized all three screws, so that sucker ain't going anywhere. I've also placed it right there at a valley, so that way when it rains, water will spill off onto here. Get right onto that rain sensor there. Shut the sprinklers right off. Feels like perfect planning. Pro tip, read the instructions. They're super important. This one, for instance, says, don't use this spot to step on, or that spot. I was standing here the whole time. This is a 6-foot ladder. That's about 10 feet up. This worked just fine. Another little fun fact about these RS1000 rain sensors by Irritrol is there's a little tiny sticker on them. This one says E05, and it matches the rain sensor sticker right there. Where is it? Is it on this side? There it is. Probably won't come in, but that says E05 too. Let's go see what the one down there says. E06. Why is that important? If it said E05, technically it would communicate with that sensor up there. Now, I wouldn't leave that one there because I am replacing this one as a brand new replacement. If I was doing a warranty, I may just replace the sensor if that's all I needed to replace to get everything up and running again. You're probably wondering, Justin, how do you wire this sensor? I'm going to tell you. The two red wires will get connected to the usually two yellow wires, the two 24-volt wires coming out of the transformer. You see these two yellow wires that come out of this transformer and go right there. This is your power wire. That's what's powering the receiver over there. You have your sensor wire. It's either going to be the brown one or the yellow one. In our market here in Florida, we're always going to be using the brown one because all of our systems are normally closed systems, meaning the power is always connected in them. When the rain sensor activates, what ends up happening is it breaks the circuit, not allowing electricity to make it out of these two wires that go out to this valve to turn on the water. If it were a normally open circuit system, then when the rain sensor gets wet, it would close the circuit, then completing the loop to allow the system to run. We're not using the yellow wire in this market. Most markets don't use this wire. What I usually do is I clip it off right here so that it doesn't confuse the next guy. That's what I'm going to be doing shortly after this. We are completely installed here. The only thing left to do is to go into Hydrawise and make sure that it's configured to the correct sensor, because there are two in here and this one's connected to sensor 1. So we got to make sure that it's connected to sensor 1. Then I'm going to take this garden hose right here and I'm going to climb up that ladder and soak that sensor that's not sitting correctly. I'm going to soak it and I'm going to make damn sure that everything is reading correctly, that Hydrawise is recognizing that it's wet, and that the sensor receiver is recognizing that it's wet. And then we'll be good to go here. We're here on the customer's account. We're going to click on the top left hamburger menu here. Then we're going to click sensors. We're going to make sure it's connected to, it is SEN1. This particular system is only a one zone system. If it wasn't, we would want to make sure that all of the zones are selected. In this case, again, it's only one zone. Now we are running properly. Again, like I said earlier, it's a normally closed wire. That's what we were installing, not a normally open wire, and it is a rain sensor. That's what you're gonna choose here. We've got all that set correctly. Now it's time to go get it wet. Let's just pretend for a minute I didn't have this ladder here. I wanted to test this sensor. I would just shoot the water right up there in that valley and wait for it to come flying right back out at me. Now, the sensor is definitely wet. Working perfectly. Beautiful. As we make our way back into the customer's account, we can now check to see if the rain sensor is working by clicking at the top here where the notifications are to reveal that rain sensor 1 is stopping the irrigation for all zones. We are good to go here. On to the next one.